All right, let's dive in. Today, we're talking about a huge topic in language learning, advanced fluency. But we're going to start by knocking down the biggest myth out there, that it's all about speaking as fast as you can.
So that begs the question, right? What is real fluency? What does it actually mean to be fluent in another language? Is it really just about speed, or is there something deeper going on?
Okay, so let's break this down. On one side, you've got the myth, this pressure to speak a mile a minute, never pause, and sound perfectly native. But the reality, what we're really aiming for, is all about communicating effectively. It's about being flexible with the language and getting those more subtle, nuanced ideas across.
So to get to the bottom of this, let's first take a look at what the experts have to say. I mean, how do the people who actually set the standards for language learning define all of this?
Well, the biggest authority here is something you've probably heard of, the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages, or CEFR for short. Yeah, this is the system that gives us those famous A1, B2, C1 levels that are used pretty much everywhere.
And the entire CEFR is built on this core idea called communicative competence. The way they see it, you're not just a student memorizing words, you're a social agent. The goal isn't just to know the language, it's about being able to actually do stuff with it in the real world.
So, if it's more than just knowing a bunch of words, what is it then? Well, the CEFR actually breaks this whole competence thing down into three main pillars.
First up, you've got linguistic competence. This is the nuts and bolts, your grammar, your vocabulary, pronunciation. Then there's sociolinguistic competence, which is all about the social rules. You know, knowing when to be formal versus casual. And finally, and this is a big one, you have pragmatic competence. This is about using language to actually get things done, like convincing a friend or telling a story that makes sense from start to finish.
And this quote just nails it. This is pulled from the CEFR's own description of C2, which is the mastery level. And notice what it says. It says nothing about speed. The absolute peak of fluency is about conveying finer shades of meaning. It's all about precision, not pace.
Okay, so that's the official word, that's the theory. But what happens when you actually put this to the test with real data? Well, a really surprising study out of Amsterdam asked a pretty provocative question that helps us get to the heart of this.
Back in 2015, some researchers at the University of Amsterdam decided to really dig into this, to try and pull apart what is actual language skill and what might be something else entirely.
And here's the exact question they asked. When you're speaking your second language, is how fluent you sound, your speed, how often you pause, is that a true measure of your skill? Or is it just your natural, personal speaking style kind of bleeding through from your native language?
So here's how they set it up. They took 51 people who were learning Dutch. These people were native speakers of either English or Turkish. And then they measured their fluency, things like how fast they talked and how often they paused, in both their native language and in Dutch. Then they just compared the two.
And what they found was pretty wild. They found a correlation of 0.76 between the pausing habits of a speaker in their native language and in their second language.
Now, for anyone who's not a stats nerd, a correlation of 0.76 is huge. It means that a massive part of what we think of as fluency, how fast you talk, how you pause, it isn't really a new skill you're learning. It's a stable part of your personality, your speaking style, that you just carry over from your first language. Okay, so that raises a really important question, right? If so much of how we sound is just our personal style, how can we possibly measure the part that's pure, learned second language skill?
This is where the researchers got really clever. They came up with something they called a corrected fluency score. Basically, they used a statistical model to mathematically filter out each person's individual speaking style from their native language.
The best way to think about this is like a handicap in golf. It levels the playing field, right? It doesn't matter if one player can naturally hit the ball way farther than another. The handicap adjusts for that to show you who the more skilled golfer really is. This corrected score does the exact same thing for speaking. So this leads us to the million-dollar question. The researchers also gave these Dutch learners a vocabulary test to see how much of the language they actually knew. So which fluency score do you think would be a better predictor of that vocabulary score? The raw, uncorrected speed, or this new corrected speed? Well, the results are just fascinating. The raw speed, just how fast they could talk, could predict about 30% of their vocabulary knowledge. But the corrected score, the one that isolates their pure Dutch language skill, that predicted 41%. That is a major, major jump in predictive power.
So here's the bottom line.
Your raw speaking speed is an okay sign of how much you know, but it's noisy. It's all mixed up with your personality and your natural talking style. But once you strip that away, what's left over is a much, much better indicator of your actual underlying language ability.
And this brings us right back to where we started. It lines up perfectly with what the CEFR says the goal for advanced learners should be. They call it effective operational proficiency. And look at the definition. It's all about using language flexibly, effectively, and with precision, not speed. So what this all really means for you, the language learner, is that this whole race to speak faster is, well, it's kind of misguided. True, advanced fluency isn't a race. It's about becoming an effective and flexible communicator in your own personal style. Some of us talk fast, some of us talk slow. Both can be absolute masters of a language. So I'll just leave you with this to think about. After all of this, what does being an effective communicator really mean to you? How would you redefine your own fluency goals now?